Thank you very much, Chair Lofgren. And once again, thank you for holding this important hearing. And Inspector General, it's nice to see you again. You noted that the department has only closed, your written testimony was 39 of the Inspector General's recommendations, and you said they've closed some additional ones. But of the outstanding recommendations, what do you believe is among the most critical and urgent?
That's a tough one. They're all critical in a sense. I think it's the beefing up our intelligence capabilities, having a solid training services bureau, and it also is that cultural change. Those are the important things. Although you will say, well, I didn't see the word cultural change in any recommendation. But I think the recommendations, if you look at them as a whole, you will see us pushing the department into that direction. So.
Right, because it's like as everybody, as we've heard from the questioning, as they move forward in terms of understanding the roles everybody else is playing, as they understand, move from one position to another, and therefore understand that they're all working together on this for the security of the Capitol. So it's been, over a year since that harrowing attack on our Capitol by Trump supporters seeking to stop the constitutional counting of the Electoral College votes. And you discussed earlier that there was good planning by the Capitol Police for a large event last fall. At this moment, though, are you confident that the Capitol Police is prepared for an attack similar to what happened on January 6th? Is the planning sufficient at this time? And if not, what must we do to get there?
I believe your planning is sufficient at this time. There are so many factors in what could or couldn't happen in that. But right now, you feel confident in that at least they got the planning down. They had enough resources in the last couple of large events that they've been able to handle. So again, they are moving forward. So I'm confident, at least in their planning stages and operational plans and getting the word out to their officers. They are in a much better position than they were over a year ago.
Well, I'm glad to hear there's progress, even though it's clear that there is so much more work that we need to do. Mr. Schuman, I really appreciated your remarks about the importance of public access at the Capitol. One of the things that makes the legislative branch special is that we are always accessible, must be accessible to our constituents and the public. But as noted earlier, there are things that don't necessarily stop us being accessible, because we could always meet elsewhere, and identifying who you're meeting with is as noted something that is done in almost every building you go into after 9/11. But I wanted to follow up on your recommendation about making the Capitol Police OIG independent of the board. Are there other authorities Congress should provide to the Inspector General to increase its effectiveness?
That's an excellent question. So certainly independence. The ability to get answers from the Capitol Police Board and to inquire into its records would probably be something that would make a lot of sense. There's probably a number of documents that the Capitol Police Board routinely manage that the IG can get if requested, but there may be value in having them routinely made available to facilitate access. I would have to think more on it, but that's where I would start.
Right, and if documents are being provided on a regular basis, then there is an understanding that there is going to be a review, and that itself might improve. If I have time, I wanted to quickly go back to you, General Bolton. In one of the interviews regarding command and coordination, one of the officers said, "Everyone forgot how to do their job. We should look at our leaders. Do they have the skill set? And if they don't have it, they need to go get it." Did your review identify a department-wide codified leadership training and development program that they are getting now, or is that one of the recommendations that still needs to be worked on, the important recommendations?
I think that's one of the things that they're still working on. We're actually going back, and as I mentioned earlier, that we're doing a career progression and rotational policy review And we're just about wrapping that up ourselves, so we'll be able to issue that report soon. That'll answer more of your questions, but they still have work to do in that career progression and training their future leaders.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. My time is up and I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back, and I'll recognize myself for just some final questions. First, I wanted to